So you're going to the gym every single day, you're trying to eat better, you've cut out sugar, you think you're doing everything right, and the scale still hasn't moved in months. If this sounds like you, keep watching because that was honestly me not too long ago. This is literally what I looked like 3 months ago. So I was working at a kitchen in a restaurant, working my 9 to 5 restaurant job, and I was on my feet all day, coming home exhausted all day, and eating whatever was on the stove. I was still showing up to the gym every single day, wondering why my body was just not changing. And the thing about that I always looked back on is I was not lazy. I was not making excuses. I was genuinely trying, and I looked the same every single day. And then I realized something that changed everything for me. So the problem was never actually my effort. The problem was never my effort. The problem was I was following a system that was built for someone who looked nothing like me, lived nothing like my life, and never once sat at a Latino dinner with their abuelita watching to make sure they're eating their plate, not just once, but 2 plates, okay? So every trainer I followed, everyone told me the exact same thing. Meal prep on Sundays, eat clean, cut out everything I love. And I kept trying, but I kept failing, not because I didn't want it bad enough, but because nobody was building anything around the life that I have lived. Nobody was talking to us, literally no one. So today I'm gonna break down exactly why Latinos struggle to lose the weight, why the fitness industry has been failing us for years, and more importantly, exactly what you need to start fixing this week today, because I figured it out the hard way, so you don't have to. So let's get into it. So why the fitness industry has failed us, and if you keep following the same plan, you keep going without actual proper structure as a Latino, at the end of the day, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So the first thing that we want to talk about is chicken and rice meal prep. So you've always been told to meal prep, meal prep, meal prep, but when you tried the boring chicken and rice meal prep, it just never ends up working out because that's not like us. That's not our culture. I don't eat that way, and neither should you. That's never worked out, so there's no point in you trying to keep doing the same diet that clearly doesn't work because it's not meant for you, and it just doesn't come down to discipline at the end of the day. It's just not for us. We're not compatible with that type of food, and you shouldn't want to start that diet. I've had many clients that tried that diet and failed, and that's not the way you should do it. So that comes with boring salads every single day. The protein shakes replacing real food. There's no reason for you to follow those types of diets and meal plans that just aren't built for people like you and I. This is what they told us to eat. This is what I've seen years of YouTube. The thing you got to stand is I've been at this for a while, and I live in Canada. So everyone around me is completely into this. This is what they do every single day. And honestly, great if it works for them, but that's never worked for me. And I didn't realize this up until now. This is why I've quit every single time. And this is why a lot of Latinos around me have also quit every single time, because it's just not built for someone like us. Because for us, food is part of our culture. It's not just fuel. It's Sunday afternoons in the carne asada with my dad, my mom, my sister, all together eating tacos, sitting around, pouring salsa, talking about how spicy the food actually is. And your mom's arroz con frijoles. That slaps. Pozole after a super cold day with the cobijas that have the horse on it. All of this is part of our culture. So telling a Latino to eat just plain boring chicken and rice is not a diet plan. It's literally a culture swap, and it's exactly what we fall off every single time. Not because we don't want it bad enough, but the plan was never actually built for us. So let's go over exactly the real reasons why Latinos cannot lose weight, starting with the first one. We eat too late because it's when the family eats. So this is a huge conception that I've seen with a lot of Latinos. They come off work and we're not actually eating supper till around 8, which is honestly not the worst thing in the world, but you just have to have a proper structure and plan behind eating these late meals every single night. And sometimes you have to cut off the kitchen. I'll show you examples of what to properly do if you're in this situation, but I'm just gonna go over the list of why you can't lose weight. Second one is coming from liquid calories from horchatas and every weekend drink. So I know every Latino is drinking horchata. Again, it's part of our culture and it tastes super delicious. So I'm not going to tell you to stop, and neither should you tell me to do the same thing. So that's another big thing. And also the weekend drinks. So weekend drinks are honestly killing a lot of Latinos, because I know you're getting together for your cousin's 3rd birthday party and you're pulling up, you and your cousins are all pulling up with 24 packs of beer. That is slightly holding you back, and I know it and you know it, so there's no reason why we should continue down that same path. Third one is segundas at every family meal without thinking. So I know you go to a family event, you're with your cousins quinceañeras, and you're just grabbing dishes. The food is delicious. It's part of our culture, like I said, but grabbing seconds is slowly killing you as well, just because you're not aware of the calories. If you didn't pre-plan the day of, like your breakfast wasn't later, your lunch wasn't later, and you're just going straight to the family dinner and smashing some food, that's the reason why you're still at the same weight and the same weight that you've been stuck for a couple months now. Long shifts and stress keeping your cortisol and belly high fat. So I know us as Latinos, we're always hustling. We are literally the hustlers, working a full-time job, coming home, cooking, doing everything, and keeping our cortisol and stress really high. So if your body is not being productive, it's not recovering properly, your mental health is not recovered properly, your cortisol is slowly going to start killing you, and it's going to keep your stress and your ability to actually metabolize food and all that super high. So this is another huge factor that a lot of us have to consider, even if it means like following a different daily routine, which again, I will show you. And finally, following plans built for a completely different lifestyle. So the reason you've been stuck in the same position is because you're following online influencers that don't relate to you. And why are you following them? If you don't see yourself in your shoes in another person's life and position and where they are now, why are you following exactly what they're doing? So it doesn't make sense to keep following someone that is not living your lifestyle. So if I'm following a white influencer who's like has no job, is eating chicken and rice every single day and loves that, good for them, but that clearly doesn't work for me. I have a job. That is not how I eat. That's not part of my culture. He doesn't understand what it's like having my grandma give me seconds, thirds, calling me so skinny, going to the taquero, asking him, cuantos quieres, mijo, and him telling me I look skinny. They don't understand that. They're not in the same position as us. So why are you still following the same plans that they are? It just doesn't make sense. So here's exactly what you could start fixing starting this week so you can make some progress, because there's always the person that's like, new year, new me. If you really want to change, you're going to start exactly today, and you should have even started yesterday. So this is my exact fixes to start fixing this, and how none of this actually requires you to give up your culture and the food you grew up eating. So let's start with each problem. So first one, late eating. The honest fix is like closing the kitchen at 9. So I know some days you're going to be home later, and some days you have like family food later, but anything past 9 should be your general rule of thumb where you're cut off, because this is going to remove you eating like a lighter supper around 6, and then around 9 or 10 you were literally about to scarf down some ice cream before going to bed. That doesn't make sense. You know that's wrong, so why are you doing it? Put in a simple rule, close kitchen at 9 and the belly fat will be gone. Second one is liquid calories. So this is literally another big thing that I see a lot of Latinos, like we mentioned, the horchatas, the beers. So the fix to this one is simple. Just drink water Monday to Friday. You could have Diet Coke, Diet Pepsis, anything diet like that, but cut out any of the sugar drinks. Stop having Dr. Pepper. I see a lot of Mexicans love their Dr. Pepper or their Coca-Colas de vidrio bien frías. Cut that out Monday to Friday. It's not that hard. That's only 5 days a week. 5 to 7 days is only 7%. So I know you could do it because I've done it. A lot of my other Latinos have done it. So general rule of thumb, Monday to Friday, just drink water. On the weekends, yes, you can enjoy, but again, keep it conservative. Don't smash 30 caguamas. There's no need for you to do it. You know it's wrong. So why are you doing things that you know are wrong? It just doesn't make sense, okay? And the things that you're going to feel is your energy is going to go up. A lot of people have better energy at work, the way they walk around, their confidence levels. All of this correlates and honestly starts with fitness and you making simple fixes like this, okay? Second one is the problem is segunda. So having 2 plates of supper and at the family gatherings when you know you don't. So biggest general rule of thumb is just have 1 plate. It's not that hard. It just comes down to discipline and how badly do you want it at the end of the day. Because like I said, if I were to light you on fire right now, you're going to do everything in your power to stop. You're going to jump through the window. You're going to jump in the fish tank. You're going to do everything in your power to stop. So why aren't you treating your life the same way? So if you're, general rule of thumb, if you're at a family gathering, only have 1 plate. It's not rude to say no to another plate. You could still enjoy your first plate, load it up, have a good meal, and enjoy it with the family. Sit around, eat your food a little bit slower, and just enjoy the food. If the whole purpose of our culture is to enjoy the food, why are you scarfing it down? Why aren't you enjoying every bite, savoring every bite? Enjoy the moment, okay? And then you don't need to get up for a second plate. Get up, drink some water, relax, stop eating for 30 minutes at least, drink some water, relax, and if you absolutely need a second plate of something, keep it extremely small. grab a kid's plate and barely eat anything else. That's just to fill the extra stomach, because I know some days you do get hungrier than others, but just keep it super small and controlled. But having a structure behind it is key. If you're just winging everything, going there, smashing 3 plates, drank 10 beers, now you're set back so much. It doesn't make sense. You got to think of this like a budget. So your calories should be a budget. So if you know you're going to your cousin's like quinceañera or whatever, and your budget is $150, it doesn't make sense for you to have a $100 breakfast. So that's a 100-calorie breakfast, a $50 lunch, and now you're pulling up to the party $150 from lunch and your breakfast. So now you're break even. You have no money left. So why are you spending $200 on your supper? That's literally negative $200. Does that make sense to you? You're negative $200 now and you're still going for seconds. Now you're going to be down $400. Does that make sense? If you had a budget of $150, why are you down $400 and acting like you just can't lose weight for some reason? That just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so think of calories like a budget. You only have so much to work with, and if you need help figuring out that budget of calories, your actual maintenance calories, which is what it's properly called, shoot me a comment below and I will help you exactly figure this out so we can start making some progress. So, general rule of thumb, 1 plate rule. This is going to be consistent. This is going to make you consistent progress, because the biggest thing is consistency for a lot of people. So if you make a habit and you show up 2 days, that is a new habit. The moment you stop going to the gym, you stop eating, you stop following these rules, now you built a new habit. Do you see how that works? Why are you replacing a good habit with a bad habit? Always replace good habits with better habits. So if you keep this in mind, you're going to see consistent progress, and that scale is going to consistently keep moving just the way you want it, the way you deserve to have it realistically. Okay, next up is the chronic stress. So let's talk about the stress part. The biggest fix to this chronic stress is sleeping at least 7 hours per night. I know that's super like known, common, whatever, but just sleep alone can fix that stress, because that's honestly where we recover. That's mentally where we recover. That's where our muscles are recovering. So if possible, get 7 hours of sleep. Yes, some days you're going to get less, some days you're going to get more. That's part of life, but just average it out to keep 7 hours of sleep, because those days that you sleep 5 hours, I'm going to be real with you, hot take, it's not going to be the end of the world. You're literally not going to die. I've seen a lot of people like, oh no, I barely slept. Now I'm skipping the gym. Now I'm just going to eat a torta. Like, I barely slept though. I barely slept. You're not going to die on one sleep of 5 hours. And guess what? The best thing about having a 5-hour sleep day is that night, you're going to have the best sleep of your life, because you used up your energy. Your body's actually tired. Now you get to go to bed that night and have a really good sleep. And I've proved this countless times after times. You follow me on Instagram. I've proved that I've gone to the gym at with 5 hours of sleep, still ran 6K. And then the next day, guess what? My sleep was literally a 97% sleep score. So the biggest fix to this stress is just sleeping more. It's going to allow you to have like lower actual hunger. It's going to allow you to balance your cortisol hormones. And if you just keep dragging it out, like, I know you might be like, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. But like 1 month, 2 months, you might not feel it. You might be able to play it off. That's fine, cool. But like 4, 5, 6 months down the road, you're really going to start feeling that stress. And it's going to keep adding until you honestly just give up and your body's like completely done for. So generally just follow the 7 hours rule of sleep. I've seen a lot of people just literally fix their sleep score and it's down 20 pounds in 90 days. It's literally that simple. If you follow these rules, you can get there and you will get there. It just comes down to proper structure and executing. And finally, the last one is having the wrong plan. So what you need is a real structured system. So if you go to any of my videos, I'm showing you exactly the free structure of how to do it. So minimum gym 3 to 4 times a week, upper lower body split, having your gym bag in the car and just going to the gym right after, going in the morning. That way, if you had the shittiest day at work, you're done. You went to the gym. It doesn't matter anymore. If you need program plans, watch my other video. I literally show you exactly what program I am running. And then finally, food. Follow these simple fixes. You don't need a diet plan. You don't need a certain dietary restrictions. Just follow the rules. No food after 9. Water Monday to Friday. 1 plate rule. That is literally it. And stop snacking in between meals as well. So I know this is a huge thing with Latinos. If I'm making a certain something, I'm trying it here, trying it there, una tortita, un taco here, and then I'm still sitting down and eating a full-ass meal. That just doesn't make sense. So also always serve yourself just the plate and don't put the food on the table. I know another big thing is like loading up the table. There's like dishes, and you're just scooping food. There's no control that way. Load up, bring your food, sit at the supper table, enjoy the food, and you're done. This is exactly how my clients have been able to lose 20 pounds in 90 days. It does not have to be complicated, and you don't need certain restrictions. I keep seeing people trying to just eat boring food, cutting out tortillas, chilaquiles, all of this. Why are you doing that? Just follow a simple structure that has proven to work time and time again, and I'm literally living proof. My clients are living proof. You don't need to overcomplicate anything. So if any of this sounds like you and where you are right now in your situation, just know it's not too late. My clients are busy. My clients have kids as well. My clients are doing the long shifts. Family pressure, culture does not matter. And they're still able to lose 20 pounds within 90 days without giving up who they are. You do not have to give up who you are, and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. La cultura no es el problema, nunca lo fue. So if you're ready to stop guessing and have a real plan built around your life, comment down below and I will send you a free plan. I'll show you the exact free guides that I've used for my clients to help them lose weight while still enjoying all the foods they love. Take care and peace out.